Listen, in 2026, rates are going up, scams are everywhere, and one mistake could wipe you out. It's the number one reason folks go bankrupt. I've seen too many families wiped out by a single hospital bill. 1 in 4 of today's 20-year-olds will face disability before retirement. GoFundMe is not a plan for your family. It's not a plan for my community. I remember when a celebrity passed, his daughter's mother had to sell t-shirts to help pay for their expenses. That's not legacy. That is stress. Don't let lack of coverage or a lack of an insurance policy put your family through hell while you're in heaven.
Wealth isn't just about what you make. It's about what you protect.
If you rely solely on your job, you need this. Almost 50% of the people who watch and listen to this show every single week aren't even subscribed yet. That means half of you all are just passing by, but you're missing out on the fullness of this journey. Listen, this isn't just a YouTube show or a podcast. This is a movement to help you get out of the red, get into the black, break free from consumer debt, and start building real wealth. Not just for you, not just for your family, but what about for your children's children who possibly you will never even meet, but they'll know who you are because you left them something. Listen, every single episode is about giving you the tools, the mindset, and the community to finally experience the freedom, the peace, and the abundance you've been praying for. Come on, somebody. I want you to be able to say yes to your dreams and to stop worrying about bills and to leave a legacy that outlives you. But you can't do it alone. Better yet, you should not even be doing it alone. But the truth of the fact is, you don't have to do it alone. If you are tired of just surviving and you're ready to start thriving, hit that subscribe button right now. Don't just watch from the sidelines. I want you to join this amazing community. Let's break these chains together and build the future you deserve. Your journey to financial freedom starts with one simple step today. Just hit that subscribe button, and together we're gonna build something amazing. Here's the second step. Pay attention to today's show. Let's get to it. Most Americans are paying far too much for insurance, but still aren't covered when disaster hits. Listen, in 2026, rates are going up, scams are everywhere, and one mistake could wipe you out. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the 2026 insurance playbook. This is going to be exactly what you need, what's a waste, and how to protect yourself, your family, and most importantly, your wallet. So I want to get you covered the correct way, right away, step by step. And I really want you to dial in, and I don't want to play around. I don't want to play around with it. Let's start with the foundation. We all know this one. Number one off the top is health insurance. Did you know over 27 million people in the United States of America are still uninsured when it comes to health insurance? Even after all the ACA expansions, that's 8 to 9% of the country. And it's the number one reason folks go bankrupt from medical bills. Listen, overpaying for Cobra or just auto-renewing your plan without shopping the ACA marketplace, that is a ripoff. I want you to always compare plans during open enrollment. Do not just let your job or your last year's plan decide for you. I want you to check your HSA and FSA options. Those are tax-free ways to save for medical bills. Now, listen, I want to say this. I remember when I was young, I was in my young 30s. I think I just turned 30. And I remember right when I started my previous situation, I went and I signed up for the PPO plan. Well, the HR representative at that time asked me one quick question. He said, "You're young. Are there any medical issues that you have currently?" I said, "No." He said, "How often do you go to the hospital?" I said, "Once a year, just for my physical, and maybe another time if I'm like really, really sick." He said, "So why are you paying a PPO plan that's going to be $350 out of your check every time you get paid. Why not just get a high deductible plan and attach that to a HSA? This way, you have, yes, you got to pay up to $2,000 up front. If an emergency was to happen, then insurance will kick in, but you're only going to pay about $150 a month for that product. And I was like, wait, what? Here's the truth when it comes to health insurance. I was doing only what I saw my parents do. I was doing only what people told me. Watch this. I was doing only what the community said because they didn't want me to have a high out-of-pocket expense. But when I looked at it, I was only spending maybe about $300 a year in going to the hospital to get my medical, physical and stuff like that. But I was paying almost $3,000, $4,000 a year in health insurance. Listen, I've seen too many families wiped out by a single hospital bill, but I've also seen healthy people pay too much money for health insurance. I do not want that to be you. Look at all of your options this year. Do the proper research and make the best decision for yourself and your family. Number 2, disability insurance. Here's a stat that will wake you up. 1 in 4 of today's 20-year-olds will face disability before retirement. I'm going to say it one more time. 1 in 4 of today's 20-somethings will face a disability before retirement. But 65% of private sector workers have no long-term disability insurance. Relying on Social Security or your job short-term plan is the wrong thing. Here's my tip for you. Get your own paycheck insurance. Look for long-term / own occupation coverage. If you rely solely on income, you need this. If you rely solely on your job, you need this. If your job is your only source of income, you need disability insurance. A friend of mine thought his job plan was enough until he got sick and found out it only covered him for 60 days. Family years ago, I hate to say this, he lost his house. Do not let that be you. Go to anthonyoneal.com/disability. Again, that is anthonyoneal.com/disability. I've put a lot of companies there that have amazing rates that can help get you covered today within a matter of 5 minutes. If you've been sitting on the sidelines for crypto, wondering if you should jump in, I want you to listen up. It's finally here, a national chartered bank where you can buy, sell, and hold crypto. Crypto brought to you by my friends at SoFi Bank. Here's what I love. You don't need another app, another login, or another headache. It's simple. Seamless integration means you manage your crypto right alongside your checking account, your savings account, your investments account, and all in one place in a SoFi app. One place and it's 100% done. And check this out. It's easy to buy, sell, and hold crypto on the platform with the safeguards of an actual bank. Now look, I'm gonna be honest with you all up front before we get to the show. Crypto comes with risk. You gotta make sure, not me, you gotta make sure it's right for your situation. But if you're crypto curious and want to dip your toe into it, listen, my friends at SoFi got something specifically for you. I want you to head over to SoFi.com/Anthony O'Neal, learn more and get started today. Again, that is SoFi.com/Anthony O'Neal. All right, let's get to the show. Now let's talk about legacy. Number 3, life insurance. Did you know that 42% of adults say they need more life insurance? That's over 100 million people underprotected. And women are especially at risk. 56 million say they have a coverage gap. Buying expensive whole life or investment policies you don't need, that's whack. Why in the heck are you doing that? Listen, my philosophy is to get term life insurance. The first step in term life insurance is I want you to get 10 to 12 times your income. Then if you have on any kids, add $100,000 per kid to that policy, and whatever your home is valued at, as far as whatever the loan is, add that on top of it. So let's say, for an example, for simple math, let's say 10 to 12 times your income, let's say for simple math, was $100,000. Let's say you have two kids, that's $100,000 each, we're at $300,000. Then let's say your home costs you another $100,000. Now that's $400,000 worth of insurance that you need to have. I want you to skip all the upsells from these insurance companies, because here's the thing. GoFundMe is not a plan for your family. It's not a plan for my community. How many times have we seen a GoFundMe for funeral costs? How many times have we seen it on social media? Hey, he didn't have or she didn't have life insurance yet. I remember when a celebrity passed, his daughter's mother had to sell t-shirts to help pay for their expenses. That's not legacy. That is stress. And at the time of recording this video, my family lost an amazing person. One of the very first things his child said to me, who's like my cousin, he said, "I hope my father was listening to you. I hope my father had a trust, an estate plan, and I hope he had enough life insurance. I hope he was listening to you." I didn't say nothing at that time, and I pretty much said, "I'm sure he was," just to provide comfort for my cousin, his son. But in my head, while I was driving home, I said, I hope he did. I hope he thought about protecting his people, his family, his wife, and his children before he passed. And a lot of us will go buy name brand items. We'll go on these expensive trips, but we will not have the proper amount of life insurance for our families. Don't let that be you. I need you to go to anthonyoneal.com/life insurance. Get a term life policy today. You can be insured today, because the truth of the fact is tomorrow is not promised. Let's go on to number 4. Auto insurance. Listen, car insurance rates are up 25 to 35% in 2026. The average full coverage is about $2,543 a year. 3.4% of your income, and even higher in states like Florida and Louisiana. Listen, the biggest ripoff when it comes to car insurance is sticking with the same company for years and not shopping around. Why in the heck are we sticking with car insurance companies for 5-10 years when they're not rewarding us for loyalty? They're actually penalizing us for loyalty because they're going up every 3 months, every 6 months, every year. Listen, within the last 18 months, I've changed my insurance company 3 times. And every time I change, I've always saved myself. One time I saved myself right around $600. Then the next time I saved myself right around like $125. I simply use my own tool on my website. They have it up here on the screen. anthonyoneal.com/car insurance. I reshop every 6 months. I reshop it. I raise my deductible to about $2,000 so that way I can get the cheaper one. I know a lot of y'all saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the $251 out of pocket, the $500 one out of pocket." But if you're practicing what I preach and you got at least 1 month of net pay inside your savings account, high yield savings account, or 3 to 6 months if you're out of debt, then I would advise you go up to $2,000. Drive safe is going to bring your car insurance monthly down. But you only can do that if you can afford. And you also have to check for what kind of discounts do they have. Do not just take the first quote. Don't do it. I want people to understand, man, don't be ashamed to shop for the best deal. Man, I got no problem with that. Can I afford the insurance rates? Like, for an example, my rate for my 3 cars was at $1,285. $1,285. Can I afford it? Yes. But do I want to pay that? Heck no. I started shopping around. Then I found a rate for $685. Then after that, when the rate came up, I said, well, wait a minute. Let me go back to my own tool and see if I can find something cheaper. I found something cheaper 6 months later at $535. And I have high-end luxury cars, exotic cars. I'm not settling, I got high-end cars, so I got to pay high rates. Heck no. I'm going to do the research. And I'm going to find the cheapest ones.
What happens to your family if something happened to you? I'm going to ask that again. What happens to your family when something happens to you? You see, life insurance feels scary. It feels complicated and even expensive. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be anymore. Most of us are walking around with no life insurance policy, but we have a name brand item. Thinking, I'm young, I'm healthy, I got time. Family, I want to be honest with you, I'm so sorry. That's not faith. That is pure foolishness. Here's what I love about my friends over at Ethos. They've made getting term life insurance 100% simple. No medical exams, no waiting weeks for approval. You can get a quote online in literally 10 minutes like myself and get approved the exact same day. We're talking coverage from $100,000 up to $2 million with absolutely no blood work for way less than what you actually think. Term life insurance is pure protection at a fraction of the cost of whole life insurance. Look, a healthy 30-year-old can get a $500,000 policy for about $25 a month. That's less than your Netflix and Spotify combined. Listen, your family deserves to be protected. Don't leave them struggling to pay bills and funeral costs because you kept putting this off while you're in heaven smiling. Your family's down here stressed because of your poor decisions. Listen, stop playing games with your family's future. Get your free quote today in 10 minutes by going to anthonyoneil.com/ethos. Again, go to anthonyoneil.com/ethos. And I promise you, you will feel way better and sleep better at night. All right, let's get back to today's show.
So I want to ask you all this question. Put it inside the chat if you're watching this live, or put this inside the comment sections. How much did your car insurance go up in the year 2025? I want you to drop your state and your rate in the comments. And then what I want you to do is to spend at least 2 minutes by going to anthonyoneil.com/car insurance and just get a quote. Just see if this tool can beat your current rate. And listen, 2 minutes can put $100, $200, $300 back in your pocket. It's your option. Let's go on number 5, because this also goes with, and if you bundle this with car insurance, this also goes with that, which is homeowners insurance. You see, 2023 saw 28 separate billion-dollar natural disasters. And 2024, man, is already breaking records. You see, 1 in 13 homes, over 6 million, have no insurance, leaving 1.6 trillion in properties unprotected. Assuming you're covered for floods or earthquakes when you're not. Listen, when I switched over my car insurance, I said, hey, I just want to get everything checked for my homeowner's insurance. Can you walk me through everything? And they turned me on to this policy. Because of who I am, they said, Anthony, we would like to suggest that you have $1 million policy added to your home just in case, you have guests, because I do a lot of hosting at my house. I have my staff come over to the house. And if someone was to fall because it was slippery on my deck, for an example, technically they could sue me. And if you have that extra $1 million policy, Anthony, it can protect your home. Hey, Anthony, we see that your roof is almost, can we come out there and inspect it? And so I literally made sure that I had all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed. I was reading the exclusions, add riders for what matters, and compare rates every single year. If you're in a disaster area, a flood area, a hurricane area, man, get a little bit of extra coverage. Because, man, I know a family who lost everything in a flood because their insurance didn't cover a dime. And they thought Those cover. Listen, I've partnered. I have a list of homeowners insurances that I use. And they'll also include that into your car insurance policy, help you bundle it. Go to anthonyoneil.com/home insurance. Again, that is anthonyoneil.com/home insurance, and choose a company that's good fit for you. Today's show is about helping you get the proper insurance that you need, which leads me to the next one. Not everyone is a homeowner. Technically, almost half of renters, 45 to 50 million people, have zero coverage. So number 6 is renter's insurance. One kitchen fire and you lose everything. Everything. Thinking your landlord's policy covers your stuff, it does not. I don't care if you're renting a home, if you're renting an apartment. Their insurance covers the house. It doesn't cover your things. One thing I tell people who rent my house is like, hey, yes, I do have an ample amount of insurance, but I'm gonna be honest with you, because of who I am and my integrity, it's going to cover me. None of that's going to help you. I would highly encourage you to pay $10 to $20 a month to protect your entire situation. Please don't skip it. If your costs burdened, this is the cheapest way to protect your emergency fund. Leaving your what do you call it for the ladies, the curling irons on, or maybe leaving the iron on while you're going and it falls and it burns up. You just never know. Even renter's insurance will even help protect theft. Y'all, it's $10 to $20 a month. And if you just want the basic stuff, I even think you can get it for like $5 a month. The renter's insurance is important and it is crucial. If you're renting, do you have renter's insurance? Let me know in the comments. And if you're saying, Anthony, I don't know where to look for when it comes to renter's insurance. Hey, listen, I got something for you. Go to anthonyoneil.com/rent insurance. Again, that is anthonyoneil.com/rent insurance. It should be up on the screen here because that's very, very important. Listen, this next one is important because in 2026, we're seeing a lot of people start businesses. We're seeing a lot of people start small businesses and side hustles that are turning into legit businesses on the side of their 9-to-5. So number 7 is business/side hustle insurance. Entrepreneurs, this one's for you. Nearly 96% of small business owners aren't confident they're covered, and 29% have no business insurance at all. Skipping coverage or buying the wrong policy is going to hurt you in the long run. I need you to get a quote for general liability, cyber, and property, even for your side hustles. This is going to range you about $30 a month for basic coverage. One lawsuit can end your business. Trust me. I've been in the business world for 5 years on my own. And I was like, man, I'll never get sued or I'll never have this happen. Y'all, that was a lie. But thank God that I have my law firm. I retain a law firm on a monthly basis. And thank God they told me, they educated me on the importance of having a small business insurance policy. A side hustler I know who has a very, very good business idea lost everything to a cyber attack. Why? Because he had no insurance. Do not let that be your story. Please don't. Go to anthonyoneil.com/business insurance. Again, that's anthonyoneil.com/business insurance. Get the policies that you need and get covered. Here's number 8. Y'all know me. I am a dog dad. I love my daughter, Raven. She's my dog daughter. She's nowhere near a human to me, but I do love her. You know, I actually had someone offered me a whole lot of money for her. And I just couldn't imagine my life without Raven. So number 8 is pet insurance. Pet parents, pet daddies, dog mamas, dog daddies. This one is for you. Vet bills are up. The markets is about $4.7 billion last time I checked, but only 4% of pets are actually insured. I was not insured with Raven until one time we had a scare, and that scare cost me about $1,500. I was like, what in the world? It was a scare. It wasn't nothing serious, it wasn't nothing real, but I thought it was. But I had to pay $1,500 out of pocket because I had to go to the emergency room and they had to, do some scans, do some stuff with her, which cost me about $1,500. And they turned me on to pet insurance, specifically this company called Lemonade. And I was like, man, I just heard pet insurance is a waste of money. They was like, well, if you would have had pet insurance, you would have only paid about $800 for the year for Raven, but you paid $1,500. And the pet insurance covers a lot of other things as well. You see, overpaying for wellness adds on are not, let me see how do I say this? If you're going to overpay for wellness, do it the correct way. Only buy, how do I want to say this? Because I do believe that not everybody needs pet insurance. But if you have a pet and the pet is young, getting a little bit older, or even older, getting to the older age, I'll take that back. Everybody needs pet insurance. But you got to compare plans and you got to skip through the fluff. And you need to get exactly what you need specifically for your dog. I have a German Shepherd and their hips tend to go out right around 10 years old. Raven is only 6. And so, I'm preparing for that. I'm preparing for other things that comes with a German Shepherd. Listen, family, go to anthonyoneal.com/pet insurance. Compare your rates, y'all. I mean, I can't remember exactly what I paid, and we have several different companies on there. I told you I use Lemonade, and I genuinely enjoy having that because we have the right vet for her, but then we also have enough coverage where I don't have to go on my emergency fund to take care of any emergencies. Listen, this is your 2026 insurance playbook. I want you to protect yourself. I want you to cut your costs and don't let these companies play you. Let's go throughout 2026 with the plan. Remember, I'm always teaching wealth is not just about income. It is about the strategy that we have when it comes to our money, and having the proper insurances put into place helps us build wealth because it helps us, one, keep money in our pocket, and it helps us prevent us from having to borrow money or go into debt to pay something that an insurance policy could have taken care of. Remember, protecting your family isn't just about money. It's also about stewardship, legacy, and loving your people well. Don't let a rip off or a gap in coverage steal your future. Don't let lack of coverage or a lack of an insurance policy put your family through hell while you're in heaven. Do not get to heaven and you look down and your family is struggling. Don't work for 10 years and something happens on your job to where you can't work for 6 months and you're struggling. Get yourself insured today. And I promise you, it'll be well worth it. We're going to link all the websites for every single insurance company that I mentioned. I want you to go there today. Spend some time this week. You probably can't go through all 6, 7 of the links today. But man, start with one today, and then tomorrow go to another, and then the next day go to another. But by the end of this month, I want you to be fully insured for yourself and for your family. All right? It's your boy, Anthony O'Neal. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next show. Peace out.